And welcome to another episode of the ScootleLIVE webinar series. This is our 11th episode, and we're really starting to compile a range of great discussions on different curriculum areas. This afternoon's session is going to focus on sustainability education resources and tools, and we have a great session for you this afternoon. These webinars take place each Wednesday afternoon at the same time. And we encourage all Australian educators to get involved and participate in the conversation. We do record these webinars, so whether you're actually in the space with us right now or you're watching one of the recordings, we encourage you to get involved and contribute to the conversations. Scootle is a digital repository of over 20,000 education resources aligned to the Australian curriculum. And Scootle Community, which I work on directly, is a platform for Australian educators to work in a professional network space to share conversation, resources, and ideas and practices for teaching and learning. And we hope to continue to make that a space that's productive in terms of teaching and learning outcomes and what's happening in Australian classrooms. Very pleased that the number of educators in the space continues to grow, and we are approaching our 20,000th Scootle community member across the country, something that's really fantastic. The more people that come in and contribute, the more value that we have and the more sharing of great ideas and practices. Today, as I mentioned, the session is going to focus on sustainability education. We're lucky to be joined by a special guest, and I'll introduce her now, and we're going to hear a bit about her work and her work on specifically Cool Australia, a fantastic website with a lot of great sustainability resources. I'll just skip over to our slideshow now. Just before I do that, very to highlight some of the upcoming sessions that we have for you. So up on your screen now, you can see our term planner. At the end of the session, I'll give you the link to be able to download your state term planner, featuring all of our Scootle professional learning events, which are freely available to Australian educators. We've got a number of great sessions coming up. Next week, we have a webinar that's starting 2 hours later than our usual starting time, and that's to support our Western Australian community members, and we're going to hear from some of those next week. And that'll be taking place at 6 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, but that's the 4 p.m. Western Standard Time. So we hope to have lots of Western Australians join us next week. I also do want to mention quickly our National Reconciliation Week special event that's going to feature some great guests, presenters. We're going to hear about some resources and support materials to help you with your National Reconciliation Week engagement and inquiry in your classroom. So that one's certainly one that we're looking forward to. Now it's great to introduce Thea Nicholas. So Thea works at Cool Australia, and you'll hear about what a fantastic tool Cool Australia is for educators and its background shortly. Thea's background herself as a science secondary school teacher, a well-rewarded one. Also, you can see that she was a finalist as a DECD Secondary Teacher of the Year across the state, which is pretty special. And as well as that, she's done some brilliant things in terms of sustainability in the schools that she's worked with. And now she gets to work with Cool Australia and do some other pretty interesting stuff. So we're looking forward to hearing about her work, and I'll welcome Thea to take the microphone.
Thank you, Lee. I'm excited to be here today sharing with everyone my journey embedding sustainability into my secondary school, but also excited to share with you some terrific resources that you can slot straight into your classroom, and it will support you embedding the cross-curricular priority of sustainability. So a little bit about me. I worked at Brentwood Secondary College in Victoria, and with a team of dedicated students and teachers, we set about creating a sustainability program. And what that meant was we had cross-curricular classes as well as looking at enriching individual classes within the school. And what I learnt along this journey was that sustainability is a hard topic to actually put into our classes, because often we're not renewable experts or climatologists or waste experts, or all of these other things that this great term sustainability encompasses, but we're asked to put it into our classrooms, and that can be really challenging for many teachers. And I think this is the general reaction when teachers across Australia realise that they have to put sustainability into their classrooms. And it can be very, very overwhelming. It's already a really crowded curriculum. We're busy. We've got all of these other things we have to do. But it's a really important concept, and teachers and students actually want to do it, but they need support. And that is how Cool Australia, fits in. That's what we do. We provide curriculum-aligned resources that teachers can download and put into their classroom. And if you Google sustainability, you'll actually find that it's such a diverse topic with so many different resources out there. So no wonder so many teachers are bamboozled with trying to put it into their classroom. This really terrific study from the Australian Education for Sustainability Alliance has actually found that 90% of teachers think that sustainability is really important and should be embedded into all classrooms. However, 82% of teachers don't feel like they have the skills to actually do it. And another thing about sustainability is that when we use the term, we're not just talking about environmental sustainability. It's a very multidisciplined term that includes cultural sustainability, economic sustainability, and also sustainability of societies. And they're all interconnected. So a great example of social sustainability, I was at a conference the other day, and this lady came across from PNG, and I was talking to her at the lunchtime session, and she said that she'd come across all the way from PNG because climate change was affecting her culture and her society. She said that because of sea level rises, um, all of the young people are moving across to the mainland, and their unique individual culture is not being carried on. So we've actually created lessons that incorporate some beautiful rich video content, and the story of Pacific Islanders and how sustainability is infecting them. And if you look at sustainability in this holistic framework that includes social, cultural, economic, political, and green and environmental issues, you can actually slot it into so many different subjects in our curriculum really easily. And if we look at this slide here, sustainability is actually about waste. And kids can relate to this, and teachers can relate to it. Where does waste go? Where is away? Renewable energy, the social issues around science, and where and who we invest our science in, and what people have access to those resources. It's also about food and home ec. And if we look at a hamburger, well, where did the meat come from that hamburger? Where did the bun come from, and the wrapper? Where did the wrapper come from, and where does the wrapper go? So all of these things are actually about the issue of sustainability. So if we have a look at our coolaustralia.org website, what we have here is a list of over 450 individual bits of curriculum that cater for all learning areas and all year levels. So if you're a maths teacher that's teaching year 8, you can come onto our website and filter our curriculum and find some amazing resources that you can download and slot straight into your class, and it's all free to access. So Lee, I notice you've just taken control there. That's great. If you pop into the teacher side of the website, we'll just have a little look. So this is our homepage of curriculum materials, and you'll see the green buttons at the top are the way to filter the curriculum that we have. So you can actually look for an entire unit of work, an individual activity for your particular year level that you teach. And we're excited to announce we cover early learning as well for a range of sustainability topics. Now, we've got quite a few topics in there, and an exciting new venture that we've recently taken to is aligning with lots of big environmental events such as Schools Tree Day and Planet Ark's National Recycling Week and WWF Earth Hour and Clean Up Australia Day. Now, this is really exciting because we've become the official curriculum provider for them. So coming up to Tree Day, which is in July, you can download a whole host of resources that you can slot into your classroom before and after the event. And that's really connecting the event of planting a tree with outcomes within the Australian curriculum. And if you just move across, Lee, you can see all of the different subjects there that we write for. Lee, we might just quickly go back to the slideshow and then come back to that page and have a look at the lessons. But I'll just quickly talk about the approach we take for our curriculum. So, oops. So our curriculum is about real life learning. We want kids to have this real life context for all of the lessons so that they can apply it in the real world. It's about lifelong connection to nature. We want them to value our natural systems because if they don't value it, they're not going to protect it. So that's part of our alignment. It builds critical thinking and the ability to manage uncertainty. A futurist predicted recently that 90% of the services and products and technologies available now won't be available in 2050. We're going to see an incredibly different world to what we're used to. So we need to prepare our kids for this uncertainty. We want them to focus in the present, in the future, and understand things that will help them then. We want them to be optimistic and filled with hope. There's so much gloom and doom out there around issues of sustainability. We want them to be empowered to take on challenges in their community. And at the essence of everything we do is this idea where kids have the opportunity to act and be change agents in their local community. So our curriculum is aligned to all the outcomes of the Australian curriculum, and then it spearheads to supporting teachers in actually undertaking sustainability projects within their school that make a really big difference. Each lesson is easy to use. We know teachers are busy. We know there's 100 things that you have to do. So we want it to be so quick to find what you need and even quicker to be able to understand the lessons and actually do it in the classroom. It's adaptable. It's not a one-size-fits-all. It has rigorous assessments. It's inquiry-based, sensory and experiential learning and contains a whole range of thinking tools. Now, Lee, if you just pop back into our website, we'll have a close look at a couple of lessons.
Okay.
So, Lee, you were talking about National Reconciliation Week, and we're really excited to announce that we've got a range of lessons. And if you just go down a little bit more, Lee.
Yep.
Oh, no, that's all right. If you click on the Aboriginal Caring for Country Using Fire, we've recently collaborated with the Nature Conservancy to create a range of lessons about Indigenous land management and the use of fire and the social, economic and environmental benefits of Indigenous knowledge being passed down and used in a real life setting. And if you click on the read more, you'll see that each lesson plan has the ACARA links to it, all of the other information you'll need for teaching this lesson, And then if you go down, you'll see that the teacher page is a supportive document that contains lots of background information, because we understand at Cool Australia that not all teachers are experts in sustainability. Not all teachers are experts in Indigenous land management. So we want to provide a range of top-notch information that teachers can feel confident in going into their classroom. A great other addition to this unit is that we actually filmed a whole range of videos, and if you go into the student worksheet, Lee, we can take a look at one of the videos. Now, a big part of Indigenous education is oral communication and stories and passing on information cross generations. So what we did is we filmed a whole range of shots talking about Indigenous land management and the benefits, and embedded them into the digital worksheets. So students can watch these videos, take in the information at their own pace, and then answer a range of questions about them, and then do projects on them. Now, the beauty of Cool Australia's digital worksheets is when teachers sign up to Cool Australia, they actually get their own personal dashboard. And this personal dashboard allows them to share these digital worksheets with their students. So if they have an iPad or a laptop or are doing a flipped classroom at home, they can share the link with the students. They can fill in the digital worksheet and send it back to the teacher's personal dashboard to collate or mark or do whatever they need to do with it. So Lee's just clicking on the classroom share. All you need to do is send that link to your students, and then they're good to go. Now, we've also collaborated with Series and the Resource Smart Aussie Vic program and created a series of auditing tools. Now, these are teaching and learning tools where kids can go outside and do audits of energy, biodiversity, transport, waste, collect real-time data, and then send it back to the teacher. And this data can actually be used for Resource Smart Vic certification. So that's another exciting initiative. Now, Lee, we might just go back to the curriculum homepage. I'll show you one of my other favorite lessons here. Now, if you click on Waste to Art, a great way to engage students in topics such as climate change that can be quite overwhelming is to use art. So we've collaborated with Mobile Muster to put these lessons up on our website that actually cater to visual arts and English. Now, they can watch a TED talk about this amazing artist. If you click on that, Lee. And he uses sustainability in his eco art, and kids can use their media skills to analyse that, and then in this particular lesson they're prompted to create their own piece of eco art, and they think about the communication behind it. So that's another terrific lesson there as well. Lee, if you pop back out to the home page, and then we'll go have a look at the student side of the website. So if you guys click on the student side of the website, this is like a mini Google for your students to find safe scientific information that they can use in any of their assignments or projects. So if we click on climate change, what you'll find is a host of videos, pictures that can be used in ICT projects or other projects. You'll see fact sheets there, research articles, news items, all of which is free to access. Now, we call these our digital toolboxes, and what we've actually found is that teachers are using them just as much as students. so that they can build up their content knowledge before delving into a unit on climate change or biodiversity or energy. So we might just have a look at this video. We've also recently made a range of sustainability videos that are used to teach teachers and students the content of these topics, as well as show them how you can integrate sustainability into the classroom and a whole host of student action projects that you can do. We might just have a quick look at this, Lee, if we have time.
It's just not going to show on the big screen.
What is climate? It's not what the weather was last week. Climate refers to long-term weather patterns stretching back over many years. So when climate scientists talk about climate change, they're talking about the interaction of a multitude of naturally occurring factors. The temperature of the sea and air currents, the coverage of ice sheets over the globe, volcanic eruptions, and so on. So it's been great for us that the climatic conditions that we currently enjoy have been stable for the last 12,000 years or so. It's these conditions that allowed our ancestors to drop their nomadic hunter-gatherer existence. They developed agricultural practices that produced a consistent source of food in one place. From these humble beginnings, civilizations began to grow. How we get around today represents many steps forward in comforts and conveniences. Much of this improved lifestyle has occurred in the last 200 years and has run off the back of burning fossil fuels, coal, oil and gas. Climate scientists have become increasingly aware that this extra carbon dioxide is now at levels never experienced by humans before. As the impacts become clearer and clearer, is it finally time to reconsider the way we generate our energy?
So last week we used this experiment to explore the atmosphere of Venus, and we saw the effect of increasing the carbon dioxide.
We might just
what it
leave
had on.
it there, Lee, I think. Now, if you go in and watch them, you'll see that it actually has sustainability in the classroom, then looks at sustainability in student action that can be done within schools. And a lot of feedback we've had lately from teachers is that they play them at whole school staff assemblies to get other teachers on board within the school, because we often find that it's just one sustainability teacher that's in charge of doing the whole program, and often that's a big challenge for them. And we know that we want all classrooms to be enriched with sustainability learning, so they find that this is a bit of a catalyst to get other staff members on board. Lee, we might just go back to the slideshow.
Yep. There we go.
Thank you. So, we've done that. I'll just skip through some of these. These are also a couple of my favourite lessons as well. These were the Aussie Big Audits that I was talking about, a great way to find what your baseline data is for resource use in your school, all aligned to the cross-curricular priorities of sustainability, as well as the general capabilities and the explicit content outcomes of the Australian curriculum. And like I was saying before, to integrate ICT into your classroom using the BYO devices or the iPads or the laptops and getting your kids to collect data. We also create a range of smartboard lessons as well, which is a couple of new ones are about to go up there with our Planet Arc Schools Tree Day lessons, and they're going to be really exciting. The Can It and Bin It smartboard lessons that we did for National Recycling Week were downloaded over 2,000 times. So we're very excited to share those. Some of our main partners that we work with, and you can find a calendar of events on our website under events that shows all of the big environmental days that are coming up and tell you where to get curriculum on our website to support classroom learning. Our other big program that we run, which is super exciting this year, is Enviro Week. And this is our week of national action. Last year we had 160,000 students across Australia commit to positive lifestyle changes that resulted in carbon dioxide savings. And, oops, I wonder if that's disappeared. And this year we've got a range of challenges that have terrific animations with them. Kids can work out all of their CO2 savings, and there's lots of curriculum on our website that will support the program. So we're really excited about 2014 Enviro Week, which is in August, so mark it in your diaries. Another terrific event that's coming up is the AU and IU Greening Schools Conference, and we still have some spaces left. And this is about sustainability in the classroom. How can we support a maths teacher or an English teacher or someone that isn't from a traditional sustainability area like science or geography to embed sustainability into their classroom quickly and easily? So come along to this. You can go to the AU or IU or the Cool Australia website and sign up for this professional development opportunity. It's going to be terrific. So for those of you out there, you can pop onto our website, which is coolaustralia.org, and you'll see up the top there the register button. Now, everything on our website is free to access. All you need to do is sign up, and then you'll get your personal dashboard. So we look forward to seeing you on the site. And thank you very much for having me here today, Lee.
It's a pleasure, Thea, and as Bruce has said in the comments too, it is exciting to see the wealth of resources and support materials, really quality stuff on there, and really promoting and engaging this as an important discussion in schools is something that we all need to keep on the agenda as being super important as the future generations that make decisions about environmental practices and sustainability hopefully have the right knowledge to make those decisions in the future. But we really appreciate your input, Thea, and certainly your time today. Thank you very much.
My pleasure, Lee.
There's all those details up there of Cool Australia as well, and certainly I recommend that you engage. I also have a couple of things that I wanted to mention in terms of sustainability. It's great to have Thea today participating. When we talk about Scootle Community, it's a platform for social learning and sharing of all education resources and practices. It's not in reference to those that you find in Scootle only. It's a place for ongoing conversation and discussion, and it's a place where educators can guide and shape what we're doing as a collective together in terms of lots of different curriculum areas and things. I'm going to jump out as well just to showcase. I did a search in Scootle Community as well, so I just want to showcase how that works. So I'm just popping into Scootle Community. So it's community.scootle.edu.au for those that are new to the platform, as well as being organised in terms of grouping and networks for curriculum areas and other specific focuses of educators. It has great search functionality that you can quickly target and sort of specify your searches within the space. So what I've done is I've just searched sustainability in this top right search everything box, and what it comes across with is some of the Australian curriculum actual content descriptions and where it's fitting in to the Australian curriculum. You'll also see where it's referenced within some of the blogs that people are talking about, so you'll see it referenced in those sort of things. You'll see through our search that anytime sustainability is mentioned in discussions, you'll be able to pinpoint those as well. We also have events running regularly, so we had World Water Day advertised earlier, but we also have today's ScootleLIVE webinar and those sort of things. That's part of the platform, is that other professional learning events and opportunities for teachers to engage and connect are easy to share as well. The media library, you can see that there are a number of actual resources that have been posted and shared. So for example, if I just went into demonstrate one teacher, Susie, has put up a whiteboard of her class's concept mapping of her topic, carbon capture and storage. You can quickly and easily find these sort of examples, as well as examples from our participants and our members of Scootle community. You can also find resources that are housed in Scootle, so that digital repository that I was talking about, all through that same search functionality. So community does certainly help you pinpoint and locate discussions and all sorts of resources very easily. So I'll go to, we've also got tags here. I'll just pop into one example that I saw earlier today when I was having a look. Kristen Morgan published curated sustainability resources a little while ago and posted a link, so I've had a look at that one, which is just here, and it was a scoop it example of a whole heap of sustainability resources just shared by Andrew Morris. So as well as being a place to have conversations and ask questions and all of those sort of teacher discussions, Scootle community is certainly a place to locate and find really great resources and support materials too. When I do go over to Scootle, so Scootle is scootle.edu.au. You can type in a search for sustainability up at the top, or you can search by it via the Australian curriculum and point to specific areas and filter your searches there too. This was just an example of some of the resources that I found, and this learning path, so actual collection of the resources that I found really valuable, I put them in, we call it a learning path, which is a collection of these that you can easily share with your students. You can also turn these into a collaborative activity, and that means that, similar to the way that Thea was describing earlier, you can access a link that's up here on the screen now that's suitable for your students to access, and it allows them to actually post discussions or answer questions about these resources in one place as well, in a sort of collaborative field where you can have all of your students in here participating in a session based on your resources. So that's something that you can do. I've posted these resources and all the ones that I've talked about up in the webinar space as well, so I'll come back to that in a second. There is one other thing that I wanted to mention. Just as I said, Scootle certainly is a great place to go for Australian curriculum aligned resources and tools, but we do know that there are a huge amount of freely available content, which is terrific, and I wanted to share one of my examples as well that I've used in my classroom practice previously, which is called Electrocity. So I'm just going to quickly go to that now. Electrocity is a game that allows students to play and kind of build their own little city, and they have to balance the sustainability, energy needs and environmental management of their towns as it grows. I'm a really big believer in using games to help teach, and I'd really recommend that you try this one out with your students. This is a really brilliant tool, and when I used it with my kids, even as young as grade 2, I believe, I thought the content that we were really delving into was perhaps a little bit above their heads, but the game itself really generated a lot of excitement and enthusiasm and enabled us to have really good and in-depth conversations about lots of serious sustainability topic, so it's one that I'd recommend you check out as well. I will pop back to our presentation, and our slides, and I'll just start to allow access to that we were talking about earlier. Okay, put that up on the screen too, because that's the schedule of events taking place throughout Term 2. So we do have events taking place each Wednesday. You can see the dates there up on your screen. I did want to mention the useful links. So up in the right of screen, you can see a number of useful Scootle and Scootle community resources that might help you talk about or utilise the services, or share them with your staff and other colleagues and community and network members. There's also the link to Cool Australia, the link to the sustainability learning path that I mentioned, link to Electrocity, and also the search results for sustainability from within Scootle community itself. So we hope that we've showcased a few tools and tricks that might help you to generate and promote discussion about sustainability in your classrooms, and also cover them in terms of your responsibilities for implementing the Australian curriculum and how they fit into those. There are a number of great tools, and the workflow for utilising Scootle, and in terms of even the Australian curriculum, as Thea demonstrated from the Cool Australia website. When you go to the Australian curriculum itself, you always have that link to Scootle resources aligned to the Australian curriculum. So it's certainly a good action for educators in terms of finding really appropriate stuff. Again, as per usual, we've got some takeaway resources here. So those term planners that I was talking about are up there on the screen. We also have the presentation materials that Thea's put together from today as well. They're available for you to download. Once again, thank you for participating in our webinar series. We hope that we continue to provide something of value to Australian teachers. If you do have any feedback or ideas for topics, curriculum areas that you would like us to discuss, certainly please get in contact. My contact details are up there on the screen, and I'd certainly be interested in your feedback and your ideas for how we can use Scootle and Scootle community to continue to improve the way that we teach, and certainly the value of sharing and providing support to one another as a teaching group is of huge value, and I'd encourage you to get involved in Scootle community and all that's on offer in there. Thanks again to Thea for participating and for presenting for us. Did a great job. And as I said, we'll be back at our time of 2 hours later than our usual slot next week for a discussion with some Western Australian educators, and we'll be back to our normal time slot after that. Thank you again for joining us, and we hope to see you next time.